Hello, welcome back, Recapped Mystery here. Today, I'm going to explain a sci-fi thriller film, Blindness. Watch out and take care. The film begins with the young man on his way to work who goes blind in the middle of a traffic stop. When the traffic light turns green and the man is unable to move his car, the motorists behind him begin repeatedly honking at him. Soon after, some concerned city dwellers approach the man and discover that he has lost his sight. A kind soul named X offers to drive the man home and clear the traffic. As they walk to his apartment, the blind man describes his sudden condition as a brilliant white expanse, as if he is swimming in milk. They eventually arrive at the blind man's opulent flat. The savior, however, escapes with the blind man's vehicle as soon as he gets out of his car. When the blind man's wife gets home, she is astounded to learn of her husband's condition. She decides to take him to a nearby ophthalmologist right away. The doctor examines the man's eyes thoroughly but is unable to determine the cause of his sudden blindness. Most blind persons experience total darkness. However, the blind man mentions seeing white. The man is referred to a hospital by the doctor. Meanwhile, the man who stole the blind man's automobile is apprehended by police. He unlawfully changes lanes and abandons the car because he is afraid of being caught. However, before he can flee, the man receives his karma and turns blind, much like the man he stole from. The doctor tells his wife about the weird disease at home. The doctor stays up late researching the condition after eating the dinner she prepares for him. The following morning, two more people succumb to the disease, a local prostitute who habitually wears dark glasses and the doctor himself. The doctor's wife attempts to check his eyes, but he pushes her away, fearful of infecting her with the disease. She, on the other hand, rejects his attempts to keep her at arm's length and assures him that she will be secure. Several more residents are struck blind in various parts of the city, prompting widespread panic. The government takes notice of the situation and prepares a quarantine facility in a nearby abandoned asylum. A hazmat team arrives outside the doctor's house to pick him up, concerned for him. The doctor's wife hops into the van with him, pretending to be blind in order to accompany him into isolation. The complex has been divided into wards, with each ward electing a ward captain to represent them and connect with the outside world. The doctor's ward is joined by a woman wearing dark glasses, the first blind man, the car thief, and a young child. The first blind man soon recognizes the car thief's voice, and a fight ensues. The doctor separates them and basically takes over as captain of the ward. The doctor's wife instructs the visually impaired how to navigate the halls. More blind people join the doctor's ward, including the widow of the first blind guy. With the number of infected people steadily increasing, more and more people are jammed into the same institution, well exceeding its capacity. Over time, overcrowding and government indifference cause the facility's cleanliness and living conditions to rapidly degrade. The walls and floors are quickly caked with filth and feces. People get increasingly despondent. Anxiety about food supply, exacerbated by sporadic deliveries, lowers afflicted people's morale. The soldiers who defend the facility become increasingly hostile, while the government refuses to allow basic medicines in, making a minor infection fatal. The doctor's wife sees an elderly man with an eye patch in the facility one day. He lives in another ward but requests to be transferred to the doctor's ward, because the old man possesses a radio. The doctor's wife permits him to switch wards. The elderly guy informs the doctor and others in his ward about what he has learned about the outside world from the radio. He informs them that the sudden blindness known as the white illness has spread over the world, with hundreds of cases reported every day. Governments throughout the world organized numerous seminars and roundtable discussions on the subject but were unable to find a solution. Things swiftly spiraled out of control, and the outer world ground to a halt. A blind man breaks away from his group one day while carrying a new batch of infected patients to the facility and is savagely shot by the troops. Panic erupts, and two more individuals are murdered in a subsequent stampede. The next day, the soldiers hurl a shovel over the quarantine facility's wall and tell the infected people to bury the bodies of those slain the day before. The doctor suggests splitting the work and having each ward bury one dead. Ward 3 residents are dissatisfied with the idea and unwilling to accept responsibility for persons they do not even know. The doctor disagrees with their commander, who proclaims himself king of Ward 3. Over the next several days, the thief, who is unable to walk due to an infection, discovers the truth about the doctor's wife. He confronts her about it and begs her to assist him in escaping so he can get his condition cured. The doctor's wife, on the other hand, ignores him and tells him that he is incorrect about her. Tired of waiting for treatment, the thief attempts to exit the facility that night but is shot and killed. The doctor's wife believes she is to blame for the thief's death, but the doctor assures her that she is already doing all possible. When she insists that she should have told the doctor about her eyesight, the doctor becomes irritated and tells her that she is already serving as everyone's mother and that she doesn't need to do anything else. The monarch of Ward 3 and his troops detain everyone at gunpoint and seize control of the food delivered by the government. In exchange for provisions, he demands everyone to hand over their prized possessions to him. The infected grudgingly give up possessions that have sentimental value in exchange for sustenance that is far less than they used to receive. Furthermore, the doctor and his wife continue to drift apart as a result of his irritation at being unable to care for himself and a sense of powerlessness. When the woman in the dark glasses notices the doctor is distressed, she hugs him and attempts to cheer him up. Something leads to another, and the doctor and the woman have intercourse. Both quickly regret it, and they regret it even more when they find the doctor's wife observed their entire tryst. The woman apologizes to his wife and learns about her vision problems. The king of Ward 3 demands ladies in exchange for food the next day. 3 days pass because people refuse to obey. The doctor's wife approaches the troops outside for food, but they inform her that they have already received food for the week and that distribution is completely the duty of the people inside. People, desperate for food, started arguing whether they should comply with Ward 3's requests. They seek counsel from the doctor. He informs them that he is not in a position to guide them and tells them to do whatever they want. The ladies volunteer one by one to be sex slaves for the men in Ward 3, and the king of Ward 3 forces himself on the doctor's wife. Her tormentor viciously beats one of the women to death. The men of Ward 3 take the women of Ward 2 the next day. On his way back, a Ward 3 guy teases the doctor's wife, causing her to snap. She enters Ward 3 and murders their leader with a scissor. Before walking away with the lady, she boasts to the Ward 3 men that they will never know who she is. She tells her husband about the vengeance, but he seems unconcerned. He is more concerned about the possibility of conflict. When the residents of Wards 1 and 2 learn about the assassination of Ward 3's monarch, they become concerned about retaliation. Meanwhile, they fortify their defenses in preparation for a possible battle. The party then contemplates handing up the guy who murdered Ward 3's leader. Hearing this, the doctor's wife nearly collapses, but she is interrupted by the radio guy, who recommends that they go buy the food themselves. In this way, the group devises a strategy for fighting back. One of the girls from Ward 1 sneaks into Ward 3 and sets fire to a chair. Ward 1 now has the option to approach Ward 3 with weapons. However, the fire has spread to all wards, causing panic. Everyone goes outside, and the doctor's wife shouts out to the guards, but no one responds. She suddenly discovers that the doors are unlocked, and everyone departs. As they walk around the city, they realize how far civilization has fallen and the carnage that surrounds them. The streets are littered with blind individuals, and everything appears to be in disarray. The doctor and his wife eventually go out to salvage supplies. The doctor attempts to tell his wife that he misses her, but she remains frigid and dismisses his feelings. The wife then enters a grocery but discovers that all of the shelves are empty and that people are going insane from hunger. She then goes downstairs and discovers a massive stack of food that she hasn't seen in months. She gathers 2 bags of stuff and heads upstairs. However, the hungry people detect her presence and attack her quickly. The doctor, who was waiting at the door, rushes to her rescue, and the couple flees. After they reach a safe location, the doctor realizes he left his clothing at the grocery and goes to retrieve them. The exhausted wife sits and watches as a pack of dogs devours a dead guy. Suddenly, a dog appears and keeps her company. When it begins to rain, she goes inside, and the dog follows her. The doctor also arrives with the clothes, and after donning coats, they return to their original location. Outside, Individuals are observed enjoying the rain and relishing in the experience, even if it is just for a short time. The doctor's wife transports the group to their home the next day. Fortunately, no one had broken into their home, and everything appears to be in good condition. She then cleans up the debris to make everyone feel more at ease. Everyone appears to be helping each other as though they are one huge family there. The three women afterwards take a shower, laughing and enjoying themselves. They haven't seen the women in a long time, so the doctor's wife describes them to them. Later that night, the radio man expresses his gratitude for having met so many nice individuals during these trying times. He goes on to add that they can live together like this for a long time. During dinner, the doctor's wife joyfully recounts the items and their positions on the table, and the company laughs at an embarrassing cheer. That night, the doctor and his wife finally make love, and he expresses his love for her. The doctor's wife gets up early the next morning and makes her special coffee for everyone. Suddenly, the first man becomes aware of everything around him. He says, "Everything is very beautiful," mixed with shock and excitement. He then goes around the house, cheerfully greeting everyone. Everyone is overjoyed at the new revelation, believing that it would only be a matter of time before their sight returns as well. The end. Please subscribe to assist the channel, turn on notification and leave a like. Thank you for taking the time to watch. See you again soon.